Good day, students, and welcome to part 3 of the 3-part series, getting ready for the New York Regents High School exam for integrated algebra. Before I start going over these questions, I just want to take the time to commend you for devoting time to get ready for the exam by watching this video. Hopefully, you can do excellent on the upcoming exam. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Question 14, it says, what are the coordinates of the vertex and the equation of the axis of symmetry of the parabola shown in the graph below? Let's start by taking a look at the vertex. The vertex is the max or min of your parabola. So the maximum in this case, since this is a downward opening parabola, is right here. So that is your vertex. Okay? So the question is, what are the coordinates of the vertex? Trace it down to the x. That's your x coordinate. If you count back, 1, 2, this is -2. Okay? And go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 along the y-axis to find the y-coordinate of your vertex. So our vertex is -2, 6. Okay? Now, next thing we need is the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is a vertical line that splits our parabola into two congruent halves. Okay? So here goes your axis of symmetry. You see the whole idea of symmetry and is that this part is congruent to that part. Okay, and this is the axis that does the division. So is this an x line or a y line? Well, there are two ways to figure it out. First, you have to remember that a line with undefined slope, the x line, is always vertical. Okay, and a line with a zero slope is always y. Okay, so y is horizontal, x is vertical. Another way to notice, to know that the axis of symmetry is x equals -2, axis of symmetry. Yeah, another way of determining this is ask yourself, what value or what axis does this axis cut, and at what value? This vertical line cuts the x-axis at -2. So that tells you x equals -2 is your axis of symmetry, which is option 4. This is close, but it's telling you that the axis of symmetry is y equals -2, but -2 at the y value, the axis of symmetry doesn't even touch it. So this cannot be the correct answer. So the answer is option 4. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and consider the next question, question 15. It says the correct translation of 6 less than twice the value of x is. To do this, you have to create an expression, you have to write it backwards, okay? So we have 6 less is subtract, twice is 2 times, and the value is x. When I'm writing this, I don't write it in this order, I have to write it backwards. So first thing you have to do is you have to double x, 2x less -6. Okay, so this is written as 2x minus 6, but when you read it, it's 6 less than twice the value of x. So you have to be careful here. The correct answer is option 2 because of the reversal, not this. This is not the right answer. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question 16. This is a surface area problem. You're told that the length is 3.0. So let's label it here. This is the length, and the width is 2.2. This is the width, and this is the height of 7.5. You're asked to find the surface area. If you look at your reference sheet, you're going to find the formula SA equals twice 2LW plus 2 LH plus 2WH. Okay, so where on earth did this formula come from? Well, it's just we know that for a prism, a rectangular prism, opposites opposite sides are congruent, right? Opposite sides are congruent. So this surface right here, this plane right here, they're congruent. This surface right here and the other surface are congruent, and then this surface and the other surface are congruent. Okay? So 2LW is just basically the bottom and the top. Okay, because the area of the bottom is length times width. So when you double that, that takes care of top and bottom. And then LH is the side. This side right here is LH. If you double it, it's just the left and the right. So let me just put some letters here to help you understand this. LW is top plus bottom. Okay? And that's right. this one, and then LH is left plus right. Okay, left and right is LH because this side is LH, the other side is LH, and then WH is the front, the area of the front. Okay, so WH is the front and back, front plus back. Okay, so if you have top, bottom, left, right, front, back, those are the six planes on this surfaces on this rectangular prism. So that's where this formula came from. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But we have access to this in the reference sheet, so we can always refer to that and just plug it in. Okay, so we have 2 times 2 times the length times the width, 2 times LW, the length is 3, the width is 2.2, plus 2 times the length is 3, the height is 7.5, plus 2 times the width is 2.2, and the height is 7.5. Okay, so all I just did here is I just plugged in all the L and H into this formula, and that's the expression that I get. Okay, all right. All right, so now I'm going to just plug this into my calculator and compute the surface area. So I'm going to have 2 times 3 times 2.2 plus 2 times 3 times 7.5 plus 2 times 2.2 times 7.5, and my final answer is 91.2 square meters. So the correct answer is option letter 4. Okay, option number 4, sorry. Option number 4, 91 square meters. All right, moving right along. Question 17, it says, which of the coordinates is a solution of the equation 2x minus y equals 11? Now this problem is a test of your application of the order of operations accurately. So and you also your arithmetic skills and resolution of signs. So all you do here is you just simply plug in these values into this equation to see which gives you a true statement. So this is xy, this is xy, this is xy, and this is xy. Okay? So let's start with option 1. So let's test 1. 2x minus y equals 11 is what we're plugging it into. So we're going to have 2 times negative 6 minus negative 1. Is it equal to 11? Simplify the left side using order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Negative 12 plus 1. Is it equal to 11? Negative 12 plus 1 is negative 11. Is it equal to 11? No. So you got to be careful. When the signs are different, you always have to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger one. Okay, that's why I have negative 11 here. Option 1 doesn't work, so let's try option 2. Option 2, we're going to plug it into the same equation. So it's 2 times negative 1, that's the x for option 2, minus 9, is it equal to 11? Okay, now work it out using order of operations. So negative 2 minus 9, is it equal to 11? When the signs are the same, you add and keep the sign. So this is negative 11. Is negative 11 equal to 11? Absolutely not. So option 2 is not an answer. So let's move on to option 3, which is 0, 11. We're going to be plugging it into 2x minus y equals 11. Okay? So it's 2 times 0 minus 11. Is it equal to 11? 2 times 0 is 0. Is negative 11 equal 11? Absolutely not. Okay? So our final answer should be option 4. So let's work it out and see if our assumption is correct. We are going to be plugging in the coordinates 2, negative 7 into 2x minus y equals 11. All right? So let's plug that in. We're going to have 2 times 2 minus negative 7. Is it equal to 11? Is it? Let's see. Using order of operations, we'll multiply first. If we multiply, we have 4. Minus times minus is plus, plus 7. Is 4 plus 11, 7 equal 11. 4 plus 7 is 11, right? Let me just write this again. So 4 plus 11, 7 is 11. So 11 is 11 equal to 11? Yes, that checks out. So the correct answer for number 17 is option 4. Okay? All right. So there you have it. Now let's move on to the next question, question 18. It says the graph of a parabola is represented by the equation y equals ax squared, where a is a positive integer and it is a positive integer. If a is multiplied by 2, the new parabola will become what? So for this one, you just need to remember the rule of a, okay? If a is negative, the parabola opens downward, okay? If a is positive, you know what happens? It opens up, all right? Think about it. When it's negative, think about sadness, right? Negative people are always sad. So sad, have a sad face, opening down, okay? When it's positive, you know, positive people, most of the time, they're always happy, smiling all over the place. So positive opens up, okay? So don't forget that. Now, the absolute value of a is greater than 1. You're going to have it's going to be narrower, okay? Narrower. And if absolute value of a is less than 1, it's going to make the parabola wider, all right? So in this case, a is equal to 2. Let's plug that into the equation and see what we have. We have y is equal to 2x squared. So this is what we're looking at, okay? So what do we know about 2? 2 is positive. So since 2 is positive, that means it opens upward, okay? So that means take out option 1 and take out option 3 because it opens upward. Since the absolute value of 2 is greater than 1, that is going to make my parabola narrower. Okay, it's kind of backwards. When it's greater than 1 is narrower. When it's less than 1, the absolute value, it's wider. So since it's narrower, the correct answer to option 18 is, to question 18 is option 2. All right, let's move on to question 19. It says, which equation represents a line that has a slope of 3/4 and passes through points 2, 1? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a point slope form to figure out this problem. Actually, let's use a slope intercept form. That's easier. So y equals mx plus b. Most of my students prefer this, so let's go ahead and use that. So in this problem, I'm going to use, I know that m is 3/4, and I know that x is 2, because that's the x coordinate here, and and then I know that y is 1, because that's the y coordinate of my point, okay? So I know mx and mx and y, so I need to find b. So if I plug these values into this equation, I can find b. All right, so let's find b. So we're going to do 1 equals m, which is 3/4, x, which is 2, plus 1, plus b. Okay, so I just plugged in, I plugged in m here, plugged in m there, and then plugged in 2 for the x, and then I plugged in 1 for my y. Okay, just substituted them in there. So this equation can help me find b. So let's finish this up. We're going to have 1 equals, put this 2/1, multiply across, we have 6/4 plus b. Okay, now we can reduce this, right? We reduce it by dividing top and bottom by the greatest common factor, which is 2. So divide by 2 top and bottom. If I divide by 2, I'm going to have 1, oops, wrong color, change that. 1 equals 3/2 plus b, okay? So to get b by itself, I'll subtract 3/2 from both sides. So subtract 3/2, subtract 3/2. So I'm going to switch this around. b equals, these add up to 0. 1 minus 3/2. So let's write this as a fraction. We have to find the LCD. So times by 2 top and bottom. So if I do that, I'm going to have b equals 2/2 minus 3/2 which is uh, negative 1/2. Okay, so that's my b. Now taking this, b, I know that b is negative 1/2, so let's put it over here. Now if I want to write out the equation on my line, I'm going to rewrite y equals mx plus b. I'm just going to plug in the values I know for m and b, and that would be my equation. Okay, so plugging in m and b into this equation, I'm going to have y equals negative 3 over 4x minus 1/2. Okay, so what option does that match? It does not match any option because you notice all our options do not have denominators. So to address that, we have to get rid of these two denominators. To clear out the denominators, we just multiply by the LCD of 4 and 2, okay? The LCD of 4 and 2 is 4, so I'll multiply the whole entire equation by 4. So multiply this by 4. If you multiply by the LCD, you always clear out the denominators, okay? So if I multiply by 4, I'm going to have 4y equals, now I'm just going to distribute this 4 to that, which will give you negative 12 over 4x, and then distribute this 4 to the 2, to negative 1/2, which is negative 4 over 2. Okay? Simplifying it further, we're going to have 4y equals negative 3x minus 2. Okay? Alright, so there you have it. Just a real quick correction, my m is actually positive, so let's take out this minus right here. There's no minus there. There's no minus there. There's no minus there. Yeah, so m is 3 over 4, so we have 3 over 4 over there, 3 over 4, and then when you distribute that, you have 12 over 4, which is 3, because you divide top and bottom by 4, so you end up with 3 here. Divide this one top and bottom by 2, and you have 2 here, and there goes your final answer. Okay? Alright, so which one does this match? 4y equals 3x minus 2 is option number 3. Okay? So there you have it. Alright, moving right along. Question 20 said, what is the value of the absolute value of 4 times negative 26 plus 18 divided by 4 factorial? Alright, so let's go ahead and work this out. So 4 times negative 6 plus 18 over 4 factorial. So I'm using the order of operations. We're going to multiply first. So multiply 4 negative 6 will give us negative 24 plus 18. We can simplify the denominator. 4 factorial is simply 4 counting down all the way to 1 and multiplying the number. So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's what factorial means. And then equals the absolute value. Negative 24 plus 18 is negative 6. Now we multiply 4, 3, 2 is 4 times 3, 12 times 2 is 24. Okay? Now I can reduce this by dividing by the GCF, which is 6. If I divide top and bottom by 6, I'll have the absolute value of negative 1 over 4. Okay? So how far is negative 1 over 4 from 0? That's what the absolute value means. It is exactly 1 over 4 units away from 0, to the left side of the number line. So our correct answer is 1/4, and then the option is option number 1. Alright? So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel just by clicking up here. You can share the contents of this video with your friends via Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. More videos can be found on mygroupserve.com. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.